Hey guys, it's Jacqueline, and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4, yay! I haven't posted in a while. I'm really happy to be making this video, really happy with this build, so hopefully you guys like it. I know it's cottage living, it's a cottage, and we're all kind of over that by now, I guess. Maybe you guys are over that by now. I'm not really over it, honestly, because cottages are like my favorite thing to build in The Sims, and I haven't built many things with this pack. I only built like literally one build so far, so you know, for me, it's very exciting, new novelty type content. But if you have already seen a lot of stuff, I can understand why maybe you would be a bit tired of it. But also, hey, people haven't really been posting it lately because it's so old now. So, you know, it's like an exciting new thing again, right? I'm on top of how the trends, they come around again, they like fade out, you know, now low-rise jeans are a thing again, like they were in the 2000s, even though low-rise jeans are awful. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, you know, cottage living is like low-rise jeans. It's coming back around. So hopefully you'll enjoy this build, even though we've already seen a lot of cottage living stuff. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It is based on a Pinterest picture, as basically always. I pretty much always base my builds off of a picture, and it's usually from Pinterest. So this one I'm pretty sure is of a house like in the Cotswolds or something, some fancy place in England, like southern England, I think. Is the Cotswolds southern England? I'm exposing myself as a person that does not know much about the geography of England right now. But, you know, it's somewhere pretty in England. It's somewhere around there. I actually found the little town on Google Maps, and I was like walking around Google Maps trying to find this house to get better angles of it, but I couldn't find better angles, tragically. I think it's called like Sheepscombe or something, if anyone wants to see it. The town that is called like Sheepscombe, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna Google that after I record this voiceover to make sure I don't sound like a fool, but, you know, just putting that out there. But yeah, I couldn't find this house, unfortunately, so I just had the one angle to go off of from my reference picture, but I still think it turned out really nice, and I just kind of made up the back of it as I went and stuff. And I did a pretty unique thing with, like, this skylight sort of moment. I don't know, you can kind of see it on the back, like, on the right-hand side of the house right now. There's, like, a cutout in the roof that leads to a balcony, and there's like a window and a door out of the master bedroom. So I don't know, that's interesting. I'm not explaining it very well, but I think it was a cool feature of the house that I liked a lot, and I got that directly from the reference picture, which was one of the things I thought would be fun to sort of recreate from the house. So yeah, but I just had a lot of fun using like the wisteria, you know, all of the fancy cottage living stuff, the perfect England cottage vibes is what I wanted to create here today, and I'm very pleased with it, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I also did a bit of window mixing in this one, which stressed me out a bit because I was like, is it too much? Does it not work? You know, I've been very overthinky about my builds lately, which I think is why they take me so freaking long, and I don't even like, the problem, right, is that I'm so busy like thinking about if I think it looks good or not while I'm building it that I like don't actually enjoy the process anymore sometimes, which I would like to put an end to that. And part of it is also, I think, building on camera. I've been not building on camera so much these days because it's just like, it really takes a lot of energy out of you to like constantly be trying to like make a right choice the first time. Like, I like to be able to experiment with my builds and stuff, and of course you can do that while you're building on camera, but you have to edit it out, and that is like time consuming. Editing is very time consuming for me, and it's one of my like least favorite parts of the video making process because I don't have a very good editing software. I use like a free software, crashes constantly. It's not ideal is what I'm saying. So I like to minimize my editing time, so like building it and then like rebuilding it and just placing all of the stuff. I don't know if some people don't like watching those types of builds as much because like maybe it seems inauthentic or something to them, but like to me personally, it's just so much easier to make a build that way, and I'm always so much happier with how the build turns out because I actually have time to like play around with it and do what I want to do. By the way, I'm doing some weird terrain paint thing right now. It's gonna turn into a driveway. Doesn't look very good right now. Looks kind of like SpongeBob with the two stick legs coming out of like the flat crotch area. Sorry, I shouldn't have made that comparison. That was a bad comparison, but I fixed it later. Don't worry about that. But anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, overthinking my builds is a problem I'm having right now, so I'm trying to do that less, kind of just chill more about it. And also, I think another like factor that's going into that is that I have I've mentioned before that there are some people whose builds really inspire me. Like, I love the style of builds that they do. I love, like, they have really flawless aesthetics that are very consistent in all of their builds and, like, all of this stuff, right? And I've always, like, I've really liked that idea, and I've been like, I want to have builds that are, like, perfect and aesthetic and meh. It was, like, all good and fine, because obviously I want builds that look good, right? But I think I've been a little too obsessed about, like, recreating someone else's style as opposed to, like, creating something that is my own style, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys care about this at all, but this is just, it's what's on my mind, okay? I'm sharing my thoughts with all of you. So that's what I've been thinking. I need to, like, just embrace my own style. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag live your truth. Am I right, ladies? Okay, well, anyway. So, yeah, we're getting along in the build here. This is like a farmhouse type thing, but it's not a proper farm. Like, I wouldn't say this is the type of farm where you could make money off of farming, really, because, like, there's just not that much farming stuff. I've got one shed with, like, you could put a cow or a llama in it. I didn't put either in yet. Oh, I do have a criticism about that shed, by the way. Something that really bothers me about it is, like, the fact that the door into the shed is literally just a black void. Like, for what? Why couldn't they just animate, like, anything? Just, like, some hay bales or something. I don't need to see the animal living in there. Like, I can suspend my disbelief. It can be, like, in the very corner of the shed that I can't see. But I hate that it's just a black void and you can't see anything in the God, I don't know. I haven't heard anybody really talking about that, and I don't know if that, like, I'm sure it's not that big of a deal to a lot of people, and it's not really, like, it's not a deal breaker for me. Like, I still like the item, and I still, like, you know, overall, it's better that they invest time in, like, making the cow/llama, like, a fun thing to play with, as opposed to, like, animating that thing well. But it just seems like such a weird thing. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of how it looks, so I wish that they had changed that, but I think at this point, like, probably they will not be changing that now, which is, you know, okay. But I'm curious if anyone else feels the same way about that, because, like I said, I don't think I've heard anyone criticizing that, and to me that was, like, one of the first things that I was, like, not a big fan of in this pack, because a lot of the stuff in this pack, like, I really like. Like, I don't have that many criticisms about it, so yeah, I don't know. I'm just surprised I haven't heard more people mention that. But then again, I haven't been watching, like, a whole lot of Sims videos lately. I've kind of been hashtag busy with life. I need to stop saying hashtag. It's actually a disaster. Oh, I have a hashtag. No, oh my god. That was terrible. I was gonna say I have a story time, but then I said I have a hashtag story time. It's a story time about a hashtag situation. Basically, my friend has a friend who's a year above us, and so this friend's friend is went into college this year, and she was meeting her roommate because she got, like, randomly assigned a roommate, basically, and she was meeting her roommate, like, over FaceTime, and she said something, like, she said, like, hashtag, oh, I forget what she said, but she threw hashtag into the conversation the way that I throw hashtag into the conversation a lot, just, like, ironically, obviously, and then the roommate, like, didn't laugh, like, just kind of stared at her, and, like, oh, that's my nightmare, is, like, having someone that doesn't have the same sense of humor as me and just thinks I'm a weirdo. Yikes. Anyway, roommates are stressful. I don't want to think about that right now because I have to have one of those next year probably, so let's move on. Alright, shall we? Let's move on. Anyway, so like I was saying, farmhouse, I don't really think that they could make a lot of money off of this farm because there's just not enough stuff. Like, there's a very small space where you could farm and, like, you know, yield crops, and then they have one cow/llama, and they have a chicken coop. So that's basically it. Like, you could make some money off of it, but I think definitely one of them would have a job in town, or possibly both of the parents have a job in town. So that's what I was imagining, and I do think, like, they're just the type of family that likes to keep up appearances. So, like, they want to create that image of them being, like, this small town family that likes to farm, but, like, really most of their money comes from, like, banking or something. I don't know. It's just a concept, but I thought that the house was pretty elegant, so yeah, I liked that idea a bit. And once you get inside the house, you will see that it's not like your typical farmhouse, I don't think. It's sort of got a French country furnishing style on the inside. At least I would say that definitely for the dining room, somewhat for the kitchen as well. Because I didn't want to, like, recreate the style that I did in my last build. I did, like, sort of two styles in my last build because it was like a double cottage. There was a cottage on the top and a cottage on the bottom floor. So there were two different styles, but both of them, actually no, I was gonna say they were pretty similar, but I don't think they are. But either way, both of them are sort of like more cottagey, I would say. So for this one, like I didn't want to just recreate that, so I ended up going for a little more elegant of a design, something that's more like you would expect someone who's like got a personal interior designer or something to come up with it, as opposed to someone who's just like putting whatever they think is cute around, or at least that's what I was thinking. I'm a really big fan of the style, although generally I do it in like more coastal homes and stuff as opposed to something like this. So yeah, it was an interesting combination of styles, but I had a lot of fun with it, so hopefully you guys will like it. But you may notice in the inside that basically everything is me like recording it a second time through, and so I don't really like go around and switch up my choices a lot. Like, you know, I pretty much just put stuff down and then like stick with it because I already have designed the room once, and so like I know what I'm putting down. I just have to film it the second time, because when I filmed it the first time it was a whole mess and it would have taken me forever to edit and it wouldn't have been like nice and seamless to watch. So hopefully that's not like a turn off. I know that a lot of YouTubers actually like always do that, and like they always record the second time through the build. So, and I personally actually really enjoy watching those videos just because, like I said, they're more smooth and like seamless, and you don't really have to watch as much like I don't know, indecision and stuff. So that is one thing. And also this video is massive, it's super long, so I'm sorry about that. I would have tried to make it shorter, but I already cut out like a whole lot of stuff, and I don't know, there just wasn't really anything else to cut out, and I don't post videos that often anymore, so if I'm gonna be here, I might as well be here for a while, you know? I can just give you a proper rundown on my life and everything, and I can really talk through everything. I don't know. Anyway, this build is in fall, if you couldn't tell that already. Had a lot of fun with it, because I just wanted to do something sort of fall vibes, because it is fall right now, and we're finally starting to get fall weather. I'm from California, so like we don't get that much fall here. Like it basically, well, I think what other places consider fall is kind of our winter, like in terms of temperature. We don't really get a cold winter. We haven't gotten snow here like since I was born, so not even since I was like 40 years ago was the last time it snowed here. Where I live in California, that is. There are places in California where it snows more, mainly like in the northern part of California, but I'm not from there, so yeah. The point is, basically, it's finally starting to feel like fall where I am, and we're getting a rainstorm this weekend, which is really exciting for me because I love rain and we never get it, and also we're in a terrible drought, so like, you know, thanks Mother Nature. We could really use that rain, maybe a little more of that rain, please. I don't know, just a suggestion, because if you aren't very familiar with like California, we also have some wildfire problems like constantly every single year during the summer and fall because it gets really dry. So, you know, rain definitely is helpful for those things. I would like more rain. I don't know, it's just kind of a novelty where I'm from, and so I get really excited whenever it rains, and like it's just a fun time. So that's happening, and I don't know, it's making me feel like I really just want to have a nice fall, drink some hot chocolate, snuggle up, get cozy with a book, all of the Christian girl fall things. Sorry, is that offensive? I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't know. But you know what I'm thinking, right? Like the blonde girls in skinny jeans and like oversized sweaters in 2014 on Tumblr having their Christian girl fall. That's kind of like the vibe I want to have. I think that might be a TikTok thing, because my friend said that to me, and she's on TikTok a lot. I don't use TikTok personally, but I don't know. If Christian girl fall is a TikTok phrase, I don't know. I feel better about having said it then if it's a Christian phrase. No, if it's a TikTok phrase, because then, you know, at least I'm not the person that made it up. So, anyway, basically, I'm channeling my fall spirit into my builds, basically, so hopefully you guys will enjoy seeing some fall builds. A lot of people have been doing them recently, and it's just getting me really excited and in the mood, and I can't wait for like the proper holidays when we have Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff. Like, I don't know, it really is the small things these days. Haven't been through like the whole pandemic situation and everything, you know, like, I don't know. Just the fact that time keeps going and we get to have holidays again, it's a nice comforting factor to this ordeal, so I enjoy that. But anyway, I've been in school. It's a lot. I have a lot of hard classes this year. I'm taking 4 AP classes, which if you're not from the US, AP is like advanced placement. You can opt into it, so like it's not like a big prestigious thing or anything, because you get to choose whether or not you take them, but they do tend to be like higher workload, so that's kind of stressful for me right now because I just, oh boy, it's like I have free time and then suddenly I'm like, oh, never mind, I don't have free time, I actually have about a million things to do. So, you know, that's my fault because I took a lot of hard classes. So yeah, I don't really have a right to complain about it, but I'll at least mention that it's going on, and that's why I haven't been posting very much, and also because, I don't know, like I said, the thing about overthinking builds has made it kind of hard to build recently, and I just haven't had a lot of inspiration. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've lost my spark a little bit. I kind of think I need a new reshade. I don't know, that might seem like out of the blue, but I'm kind of like, maybe I've gotten tired of my reshade preset and I need a new reshade, and also like, I don't know, just overall, I've been having a hard time feeling like creating stuff that I feel proud enough of that I want to put it onto the internet. I don't know, because I don't want to make videos that I'm not proud of, I guess. I don't want to just like crank out videos. Like that's a big criticism I have of a lot of YouTubers in the Sims community, is that like, especially the bigger YouTubers, and I don't say this in a shady way because I think it's very easy to like fall prey to the whole like you have to make a bunch of content really quickly or else YouTube is not gonna promote your videos and whatever. And like that's not untrue. The algorithm is like, it's kind of crazy. It's really hard to figure out what you need to do to like make it work. I haven't really figured it out, but like I do think because people feel so pressured by the algorithm, they'll often just like bust out content, crank it out constantly, and it's not good. That's all I'll say about that. I won't name names or anything because like I'm not trying to shade people, but I really don't want my own content and channel to turn into that, because like I want to be proud of my builds and feel like I'm being creative and stuff. So that's what I'm concerned about mainly. Hopefully you guys don't mind that much, like the lack of videos, because there are a lot of people that make videos, so you know, I feel like you probably, you know, it's not like I'm the only person making videos, and when I'm not making videos, it's like, there's no one to produce Sims content, whatever shall I do? So, I don't know, lots of stuff to think about, but the main thing is I just want to make the best quality content that I can, and I'm trying to do that in the best way that I can, and also, of course, I have the rest of my life going on, so like, that's all taking up time too. I've been working on getting my driver's license. If you've been around the channel for a while, literally like a year and a half ago, I'm pretty sure, I talked about in a video how I was like taking or working on practicing driving, and at that point I didn't even have my permit. I hope no like police are watching this because that's illegal to practice without your permit, but I was just doing it in like an empty parking lot, so it was very low stakes. I was doing it with my mom, but now I've got my permit and like done all the proper stuff to prepare for being able to practice in order to prepare for getting your license, and I'm like taking the lessons now. If you don't know, so you're not from the US, or I think this might be a California only rule, but basically in California, in order, like before you're able to get your driver's license, you have to take your permit first, and then you have 6 months before you can take your license test after getting your permit, and in those 6 months, or however long it takes before you get your license, you have to take 6 hours of like driving instructor training with like a professional driving instructor. So I'm doing that right now. It's pretty expensive, but it's like, you know, it's helpful. It's really, I think it's a good thing that they do it, because otherwise I definitely would be way too scared to ever like get on the actual road. But it was very weird actually, because like I said, I've only ever practiced before that with my mom, like in a parking lot without anyone else around. So like literally when we were doing it like with the trained instructor, I literally just like got in the car and he was like, okay, we're going on the road now. And that was stressful kind of, because I was like, we're going on the road with the people, with the actual cars and the people, and I could kill someone, but I didn't kill anyone. So, you know, it was positive. I got up to like a proper 50 miles an hour, and not on the residential streets, obviously. We were in like the city at that point. So, you know, that happened. If anyone else is learning how to drive right now and you're stressed about it, I feel you. I am also like extremely stressed, but I'm also like excited because it's, you know, it's an exciting time. It's the sort of thing where it's like a rite of passage situation. I also feel a bit bad because I like, when I was younger, in my youth, if you don't know this, I've mentioned it before, my mom is like an environmentalist freak. I say that in an affectionate way because I am also kind of like that, and I'm like that because of her. But when I was younger, I was always like, I'm never gonna drive, I'm gonna bike everywhere because, like, that's better for the environment. Which is very cute, I guess. And practical, like, being pragmatic about it, what we really need to do is, like, reorient towards public transportation more, but that's a conversation for a different time. But, you know, being the practical person that I am, I realized kind of now that I probably need to learn to drive at some point. Even if I'm not going to drive anywhere, I need to be able to. So I've been working on that. And yeah, I don't know. It's fun though. It is like while it's stressful, it's also enjoyable. It's kind of freeing. And another thing is the driving instructor's car is like really chill. The pedals are very like sensitive, I think. With my mom's car, you gotta like properly press aggressively on it. Like it's a full calf workout to drive anywhere in my mom's car. And it's kind of wild because like, I don't know, my legs get really exhausted. My one leg, because you only use one leg to drive. Supposedly, I don't know, I'm sure you could use two, but that's not the proper technique. So there's that. I'm sure most of you think this is very stupid because like you actually drive, and good for you, adults. But I am still a teenager. I'm actually 17 now. My birthday was this month in October, and I'm celebrating with my friends tomorrow, which is really exciting because my friend has her birthday the day after mine, and so we're doing a joint thing this year, which is very fun. We're going ice skating for me because I don't know, ice skating is one of those things, it's like kind of like bowling, and I love bowling, right? But it's such a novelty, and like it's very rare in my life that the event comes up that I go bowling, because like in what circumstances do you bowl, you know? It's just like there's never a cause to go bowling, and so I very rarely go bowling. And that's the same thing with ice skating. Probably I go ice skating even more infrequently than I go bowling. But yeah, we're going ice skating. I'm really, really excited about it. And so that's like my part of the extravaganza. And then my friend is making us go to a Marvel movie for her part of the extravaganza. We're seeing Shang-Chi, and I don't actually know like anything about the Marvel movies. I'm sorry. I know that's like sacrilege among the internet people these days because we're all obsessed with Marvel, but I'm just not. I've seen like the green one, Hulk is his name. I've seen one of the Hulk movies, but because my mom and my sister and I were going to like watch all of the Marvel movies at some point, but then we did not do that. We dropped out after like the second movie because it was just too much, man. There were like 20 movies. I was like, I don't have time for this or energy for this. So yeah, but my friends say that, because some of them have already seen Shang-Chi, so like they know these things, so they say like it's an accessible movie and you don't have to have seen all of the other movies in order to understand it. So that's good. It should be fun. I am not a huge fan of watching movies in theaters anyway, so like it's not what I would do if it were my part of the birthday extravaganza, but it's kind of fair because my friend who like, so she's the one that wants to go see the Marvel movie, she also does not like ice skating, and I'm making her ice skate during our joint birthday extravaganza, so like, you know, I'll suck it up and watch the Marvel movie during our joint birthday extravaganza. So yeah, that's happening. Let's see, what else? I don't know. My grandma and my aunt came over recently to like celebrate my actual birthday, so they came over on the day of my birthday, and that was a lot of fun. And they got me this beautiful book. It was a copy of Arabian Nights, and basically, how do I tell this story? Let's see. So, a while ago, I was hosting a book drive, and my friend and I were like manning the book drive drop-off thingy where people like drop off the books, and someone dropped off this beautiful copy of like a compilation of the Sherlock Holmes stories, and I was like, oh my god, that's the prettiest book ever. I need to own it, right? But obviously I wasn't going to steal the book from the book drive, so I like took a picture of it, and my friend also loved it, so she took a picture of it, and then we found copies online, bought them, and gave them to each other for like our birthdays. So I had that, and they were Canterbury Classics editions, I'm pretty sure, right? So I had that, and I love that like volume so much. It's so pretty, and it's Sherlock Holmes, like it's a classic story, so it's good all around, right? But then this Arabian Nights is also a Canterbury Classics edition. So they go together so well, and it's beautiful because the Arabian Nights copy is like this tealish, it's like a turquoise, like a very deep, elegant turquoise color. And the Sherlock Holmes is like your classic leather-bound, like brown leather book. So they're so pretty together, and I just love them. I'm really excited. I'm very excited by those. I haven't read the Arabian Nights yet. I've never read any of the stories in it, actually, but I did read there was like an introduction to it, which was cool. It was a whole like cultural contextualizing thing, because obviously the Arabian Nights is like translated to English by English people, so like, you know, it's like the Arabian Nights, but it's the English version of the Arabian Nights, so it like has cultural biases to it and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, it was very interesting. So I'm really excited to read those stories, and I have about 1 million things to read though, because I haven't, this is a terrible thing, a very embarrassing thing for me, because I'm a person that reads a lot, and like, I'm kind of known for that, like among my friends. My friends know that I read a lot. In school, I'm kind of like one of the girls who reads, right? Like that's my main personality trait. And I haven't been reading a lot this month because I've had so much other stuff to do, and so I've been reading literally, it's currently, the day that I'm recording this, it's, I'm gonna check my computer, hold on. It's October 23rd, the day I'm recording this. I've been reading the same book. I finished the book today that I've been reading since literally the 1st of October. It took me 23 days to read a 500-page book. Oh, it was terrible. But it was a good book, though. It was The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, I want to say is his name. It was pretty good. I had some problems with it, but like overall, I enjoyed, would recommend. So yeah, and I don't know, there's not much else to say about my reading life, I guess. I've been reading books for school mainly. I'm reading The Razor's Edge for like an outside reading thing for school, and then I'm reading The Picture of Dorian Gray because I'm in my school's book club. My friends started it, and so like, you know, I joined it to be supportive and whatnot. So I'm reading The Picture of Dorian Gray for that, although I've already read that one, so like, I don't really have to read it. I just kind of like check in on it, reread some bits and pieces and stuff, and then I participate in the book club. And I'm also reading The Namesake for school, which is a really good book too. We've had a lot of heated Socratic seminars about that book, oh boy, because it centers so much around this guy and his relationships, and like, ooh, we have so many arguments in my class over like who is the better person for the relationship. Although we had a properly heated argument over Jane Eyre in my class, because in Jane Eyre, basically, there's one guy who's like the obvious love interest, and then there's another guy who he appears like 3/4 of the way through the book. This is kind of a Jane Eyre spoiler, but not really. And in my opinion, the second guy is just not right for Jane at all. Like, in no way does he make any sense to be a companion for Jane. And there were people in my class that were genuinely like, yeah, this guy is the better choice for Jane. She should marry him. And I'm like, what? Why? I don't understand how you could possibly think this. You have an absurd opinion. So that was fun. That was a nice debate. But anyway, I don't know, my lit class is enjoyable, although I've got kind of a loony teacher, to be honest with you. I don't know if I should say this, because he has told us before that apparently whatever we say about him comes back to him. It always gets back to him in one way or another. That's what he said. But I don't know, somehow I doubt that he's gonna stumble across this video on the internet. So, you know, if you're seeing this, hi, I don't hate you, my teacher, but I feel like you need to go to therapy or something and work through your problems, and then not take them out on the teenage students that occupy your class. That's what I feel like about you. So, you know, putting that out there. But this guy, he rants so much to our class, and then in the middle of the rant, he'll be like, and by the way, this is not a rant. I don't want to hear about how this is the rant. Like, you people, and you always talk about me, and you're so mean about me, and meh, 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 and like, you know, I have to deal with the administration, I have to deal with students that think they're the center of attention, and all of this stuff, and it's like, I don't want to invalidate his feelings, because I'm sure there are a lot of surly teens that are, like, problems to him, right? But also, like, you're a teacher of high school students. Like, I don't know what you expected to happen when you decided to teach high school students, but, like, they're not perfect people, neither are you, clearly, so, I don't know. But I'm particularly kind of disposed to not be a huge fan of him because he yelled at me, which was not very nice. In front of a room of people, he yelled at me. when literally I was like asking him for help with my thesis statement, and he like randomly, like in the middle of our conversation, he was like, okay, well actually there are people who were here before you and who I would rather be helping, and like you're not the center of attention, so if it's okay with you, I'm gonna like help those people instead, okay? And I was like, okay. But then he like kept talking about my thesis statement, and so like I stayed at his desk because he kept talking about my thesis statement, and I was like, what am I meant to do? Just like walk away while you're talking to me still? I don't know. So like I stayed there, but then I said what did I say? Oh, what I said was like, I don't understand, because just what he was saying to me didn't make sense, right? And so I said, I don't understand, in regards to like something he was saying about my thesis statement, and he was like, you don't understand? And I was like, no, I don't understand. Like if I understood, I would like put it in the thing, right? And then he was like, whoa, after the talk I had with your class yesterday, I would not expect to be hearing this attitude from you right now. You're being like, snarky and belligerent, and believe it or not, the world does not revolve around you, and like I don't have the patience for this right now, and I cannot believe I'm getting this attitude from you. And he just like he was railing on me about like how all students are terrible and we're all awful, and I in particular am awful for asking for help apparently. And I just like, God, it was like crazy. And like the reason that I feel so strongly that it was a little insane is because like I'm not the type of person that gets yelled at by teachers ever. Like I have anxiety, okay? I'm obsessive about like getting teachers to like me. So like I am not, like I never suffer the wrath of teachers because I try really hard to be respectful to them. Like I don't mouth off to them. I don't like be rude to them ever. And like obviously I'm snarky and belligerent in private as I'm being snarky and belligerent right now, but I'm not snarky and belligerent to their faces, right? But this guy just like, he perceives everything as a slight, and it's really a problem. Like I think genuinely, I think something must be going on in his life that's like causing him to feel that way. So I do feel sympathy for him in that regard, but I'm also like, don't take it into the classroom, you know? We're just here to learn, man. Just like let us learn, and don't be so aggressive and mean towards us when we literally didn't do anything to you. That's how I feel about him. He's a bit wild. The problem is, of course, now that like I am scared to ask him for help again because but then, something weird happened the other day is that, like I said, he was really mean to me in that instance, right? Or he wasn't mean necessarily, he just like was overly frustrated with me, and like when I didn't feel like I had done anything, and everyone else, like there were people that were watching the whole interaction and agreed with me that I hadn't done anything to trigger that rage, right? But then the other day I had to go in and ask him for an extension for something because, long story short, my life is a total mess right now. I have no time to do anything and I'm super, super stressed. So I asked for an extension for him for this creative writing assignment, and I fully didn't think he would say yes. In fact, I thought he was going to yell at me again, right? But then he was really nice to me, and he was like, yeah, of course, yeah, sure. And my friend was with me, and she was just standing there, and he was like, do you need an extension too? And she was like, oh no, like I'm just came with her. And he was like, yeah, you're just here for moral support. Yeah. And he was being all like sympathetic, and it was so strange because I was like, I walk on eggshells around this guy trying not to upset him, right? And I was very sure that asking for an extension would upset him. Like I had to do it because I really needed it, right? So I had to do it. But like it was quite shocking that he didn't get mad or anything. He was just like, yeah, sure, of course. And like, I don't know what happened. It was so strange because it would be one thing if he got angry at everything all of the time, right? Ideally, he would never get like super angry at stuff and yell at you, right? But like, I just can't figure out what exactly it is that makes him angry, or like what the circumstances are, because it's so weird. It is so strange that like, I don't know, like I did nothing and he started yelling at me, and then I like actually asked him for an extension, and like furthermore, in class that very day that I asked him for the extension, like I have him for first period, and it was after third period that I was asking him for the extension. And in my first period class that day, he had gone on this huge rant about how, like, we shouldn't make our problems his business, and, like, he doesn't want to hear our excuses about how, like, it's college season and stuff, and he doesn't want to hear about how we, like, can't get this assignment in on time, like, we just have to find a way to do it, you know? And so, like, that's why I was fully expecting him to say no, and then he just said yes. I don't know. But then, the next day in class, he went on the same sort of, like, tirade about how, like, it's extremely rude of us, and it's very selfish of us to like be asking for extensions and all of this stuff. But like, if he didn't want to give me an extension, then why was he nice to me to my face and then go and complain about it while we're all in class? I don't know. It's just weird. I just can't figure out what he wants. So there's that. Sorry for ranting a bit about my teacher, but he's a very confusing guy, right? And I don't want to be on his bad side, and I don't want to dislike him, but just like, I don't understand. Somehow all of my other teachers managed to be like, treat their students with basic respect. Like, that's all we really ask for. Because believe it or not, most teenagers do not actually like mouth off to their teachers. They're not intentionally rude to their teachers, at least. And like, definitely not most students in AP classes, which this is. It's an AP class. Like, he's literally like, you say one thing and that's not rude in any capacity, and he like perceives it as rude for some reason, and that is the confusing part of it all, really. I don't know. He's just kind of wild. So I'll stop talking about him now. I'll move on to something else. What else? I don't know. I've just been chilling. I went to my friend's senior night the other night, which was so much fun. If you guys don't know, I don't know if it's a thing that like all schools do, but my school has this thing called senior night, which is basically like for all the sports teams, like on the last game of the season, basically, you celebrate the seniors and like make signs for them and stuff. And just like a lot of people go and watch, because it's like the seniors' last game for the school sport, right? So it's a sad time / like celebratory time, and so people just go and watch and like commemorate the moment and stuff. So I went to my friend's senior night for volleyball, and that was a lot of fun, and we won, which was very exciting. And what else? That was actually on my birthday, the night that I went to that, so it was just a fun thing to do because I got to hang out with my friend too. But yeah, overall, I've just been really busy with school stuff, and I mentioned, actually, I don't know if I did mention this, but I've been coaching, like, a softball team, like 10U, which is 10 and under, so, like, 8 to 10-year-old girls. I've been helping to coach a softball team for that, and so that's been, like, kind of time-consuming, but that season is coming to an end now. We were going to have our last game tomorrow, but I think it's going to get rained out, which is really sad, because that means it's, like, our last time seeing them was yesterday on our last practice. So I'm kind of sad about that, but oh well. Sorry, that sounded like I was brushing it off, but oh well. I just meant I can't really dwell on it during my voiceover, because there's lots of stuff to discuss. I don't know what else is going on in my life, honestly. But I've been doing a little bit of building, trying to get another build that I'm starting on, is a base game build, actually. If you don't know, because I haven't done a build for this in a while, I don't think, but have been working on a base game save file, so I've been doing another base game build for that, which, like, there is very minimal progress on that, so if you didn't know that was happening, don't get excited that it's gonna come out soon. Like, it probably honestly will not come out, but it is a nice incentive for me to, like, work on base game stuff, and I've been making some sims for it and stuff too, because they have been doing some base game updates recently, which are very exciting to me because, I don't know, I think it's a good direction for the Sims to go in, to like focus their energies on improving the quality of the content that has already been made, as opposed to like making a bunch of new content, because we just don't need new content, honestly. Like, I feel at this point like nothing more is going to fix the game, like, except for going back and fixing the old content that's already been made. Like, that's why I'm really not buying new content anymore. Like, I bought Cottage Living, I bought the Country Kitchen Kit, and I'm pretty sure those are the only two things I've bought this year, and I don't think they're making any other expansion packs or game packs. That's what I've heard. I know they are coming out with some new stuff or kits is what they're called. Some new kits. I don't think I'll be getting those because the only building one is going to be a modern one, and I don't really make modern stuff that often, so it's probably not like really up my alley. I might get it eventually if I ever feel like building something super modern and it seems like something I could use, but I'm trying really to cut down on like how much I buy from this pack, because I don't need any more sim stuff. I think for a long time I like kept buying stuff because I was like, this is the thing that's gonna make the game perfect and I'm gonna like fall in love with the game again, but like, no, it's not. It's really not gonna do that, because it's just a pack. It's just more money that you're spending, so I don't know. And also, of course, like, I was very active in the Sims community, and so there's a very like pack completionist mindset in the Sims communities that I've kind of been trying to loose myself of, because it's just exhausting to like, I don't know, go through that cycle every single time there's new content coming out, especially with the kits now. Like, they're bringing out new content like every single month, so it's just too much. That's what I think. But yeah, not to discourage from like buying kits that you actually do like or think are very exciting though. Like I said, I bought the country kitchen kit and I had a lot of fun with that one. Like I still use that one because I just think the items in there are great and they fit my style really well. But I don't want to like buy everything, especially if it's not like specifically my style. Oh my god, screenshots! Okay, I gotta stop talking now. But if you like this build, you can leave a like and comment to let me know. Subscribe and click the bell for notifications if you want to see more videos and get notified every single time that I upload a video. And if you like this build and want to play in it, it will be up in the gallery. My origin ID is in the description. That is all. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye!